There's a belief that the best agents use a formula that goes: a world record price equals world-class marketing, plus world-class negotiation, plus emotional connection and competitive bidding.
Hi, Gil.
One man who used this formula to build up and sell a very successful real estate business is Gil Davies. He's recently applied robust statistical science to the question of where and how people should advertise to get the best price for the property they're selling.
So, Gil, why do we advertise and how do we go about it?
Basically, we use the statistical technique known as reversionary analysis, which allows one to isolate back to the one factor that we're looking for. In this case, what is the effect of advertising on the final selling price?
It sounds pretty technical. At the end of the day, Gil, what did the research clearly show and demonstrate?
The bottom line is that a combination of advertising in print and on the internet definitely gets the highest price. To put a monetary value on it, if you spend about $4,000 advertising the average property, you're going to get about $10,000 back. And that roughly 1% increase across the board applies in 99% of the cases. So it's without doubt that that combination of advertising works better than either single medium. I found that most people don't understand how advertising works. They work on the basis of what they've heard from somebody else or their own experience. But as an agent selling properties, you rapidly learn what does and doesn't work. I think the most important thing is that, of course, there are any number of buyers out there who might be interested in a property, but they are only going to be attracted in specific ways. A couple of buyers might come from the internet. A couple of buyers might come from local advertising in newspapers. Another one might come from a signboard. Someone else might be referred to the property by somebody who knows it. Now, if you cut out any of those people, if you decided not to use the internet, for instance, then instead of having 6 potential buyers for the property, you'd only have 4. If you decided not to use the newspapers in your advertising, that might cut out another 3 buyers. So it becomes not only progressively more difficult to get the right price for it, but it becomes difficult even to sell the property at all. And my analogy to this would be fishing in a sea or fishing in a puddle. When you first start the marketing, the property is new to the market. It's exciting. If people are looking for a property like that, they'll come and they'll have a look at it. If you don't get those people to come then, or if you lose them, or if the marketing campaign drags on, it becomes progressively more and more difficult to attract people to the property at all. So instead of fishing in that sea, you're now fishing in a puddle.
So what would you say to the vendor out there who wants to save $1 and say, I'm just going to put it on the internet for a few weeks and see how it goes?
You would be much better off doing all of the advertising all at once and just doing it for a short period of time, because you will attract all of those buyers. You'll see who's out there, you'll get the competition, you'll get the better price, and you'll actually save in not having to do drip feed advertising for weeks or months down the track. By adopting these methods, I had all properties sold in less than a month, and my average was just slightly over 2 weeks. So I can say hand on heart that I was saving my vendors money as well as getting them more dollars for their properties.
There are hundreds of thousands of properties sitting on real estate web portals, but when a buyer sees a property advertised in print, they know the vendor isn't just testing the market, but is truly committed to selling. In other words, a serious vendor attracts a serious buyer.